In chapter 4, all 16 verses, he talks about human relationships.
Eo amin'ny toko faefatra andiny voalohany ka hatramin'ny fahaenina ambin'ny folo dia miresaka momba ny fifandraisan'ny olombelona izy.
He talks about he's seen people who are oppressed.
Miresaka momba ny olona voageja izy.
He says there was no one there to comfort them.
Tsisy olona afaka mampionona an'ireo olon'ireo izy.
On the side of the oppressors was power.
Ny andaniny indray nefa dia misy ireo mpanandevo.
But he says there was no one to comfort the oppressor either.
Manoratra ihany koa izy anefa hoe tsy misy olona izay afaka mampionona ireo mpandevo ireo.
And he says, and I thought about the dead, that maybe they're the lucky ones.
Ary mieritreritra ozy izy amin'ireo olona izay efa maty ary ngamba izy ireny no tena sambatra.
Because the dead ones don't see the evil in the world.
Satria ireo izay efa maty tsy mahita ny ratsy mitrangy eto amin'ny tany.
But he says the luckiest of all are the ones who have not been born.
Ary izy hoe ny tena sambatra indrindra ozy izy dia ireo izay mbola tsy teraka akory.
Because they don't know anything about evil.
Satria tsy mahalala inona na inona izy momba ny faharatsiana sy ny zavatra ratsy.
It sounds a little depressing.
Ohatrany mampalahelo mandetika déprimant zany ilay izy.
But once again, he's simply saying, this is the way it is.
Fa laza fotsiny izy hoe zao ny zavatra misy, zao ny zava-misy.
And he says that I've seen people who work so hard.
Zao izy dia nahita olona izay miasa mafy.
And a lot of it comes because they're jealous of another person.
Ary ny ankamaroany dia olona miasa mafy noho ny jalousie amin'ny hafa.
And it's pointless to try to be like somebody else.
Ary tsisy dikany ozy izy ny teo olona hafa izay tsy tenanao.
He says, but then there are the foolish people who fold their hands and don't do anything.
Misy koa ireo olona adaladala izay mikroaze les bras fotsiny tsy manao inninona.
He says that I've seen all of this emptiness, all of this vapor under the sun.
Hitako daholo ireo zavatra rehetra ireo izy ireo rivotra ohatran'ny zavatra rehetra ohatran'ny rivotra ireo.
People who are alone, they also have to work all day.
Ireo izay matsiaro irery tsy maintsy miasa ihany koa zareo tontolo andro.
People who have brothers and sisters, many brothers and sisters, they also have to work all day.
Ireo izay manana praitapo tsy maintsy miasa ihany koa.
So who am I working for?
Ka iza raha no iasako, liza no tena iasako.
And why am I spending so much time working for things when I'm not happy?
Ary maninona aho no miasa amin'ny asa izay tsy mitondra hafaliana ho ahy.
And that takes him into a discussion of how important a friend can be.
Ary izany rehetra zany dia mitondra amin'ny zava-dehibe hoe ny fananana namana.
He's talked about life alone and life together.
Ny mpanoratra dia miresaka momba ny fiainana irery ary ny fiainana miaraka amin'olona.
But life together is definitely better.
Fa ny fiainana miaraka amin'olona en communauté zay no tena tsara lavitra kokoa.
And then he shows these comparisons about being alone and being together.
Dia manoratra izy mampitahy ny fiainana irery sy ny fiainana miaraka amin'olona.
He says two are better than one.
Tsara ny roa no ny ray.
If two are together and one falls, the other one picks them up.
Raha ohatra ka roa ny tafaraka, ny ray mianjera, eo ny anankiray afaka manandratra azy indray.
But if one falls by himself, no one is there to help.
Fa raha ohatra ka ny ray fotsiny no mianjera, tsisy olona afaka hanampy azy.
And if two are lying beside each other, they keep warm.
Ary raha ny roa no mandry miaraka dia mafana zareo, mitana hafanana, manome hafanana.
But how can a person by themselves stay warm?
Fa ahoana kosa raha olo tokana, ahoana ny hanomezany hafanana ho an'ny tenany.
Then he goes on to say that it's better to be poor but wise than to be old and rich.
Resaka koa izy hoe tsara lavitra ny mahantra ary manana fahendrena toy izay antitra kanefa manan-karena.
To be foolish but rich. I forgot. Yeah, I said old.
Adala no ny endry.
Then in chapter 5, he goes on to talk about our attitude and our behavior, our conduct before God.
Eo amin'ny toko fadimy andiny voalohany ka hatramin'ny fahafito indray izy dia miresaka momba ny attitude-ntsika sy ny attitude-ntsika sy ny toetrantsika manoloana an'Andriamanitra.
He talks about that guard your steps and draw close to God.
Miteny izy hoe tandremo ny lalanaareo ary manatona, manakekeza an'Andriamanitra.
And when you're talking to God, watch your mouth.
Ary rehefa miresaka amin'Andriamanitra ianareo, tandremo ny vavanareo.
He says, remember, God is in heaven and you're on the earth.
Tadio izy fa Andriamanitra ny an-danitra ary ianao eto an-tany.
So watch what you say.
Ka tandremo ny vavanao, ny teneninao.
And he says, and when you make a promise to God, don't be slow in fulfilling it.
Rehefa manome teny fatipatokina an'Andriamanitra ianao, aza meda amin'ny fanatanterana izany.
And so now in chapter 5 verse 4, he makes a very important statement about the difference between foolishness and wisdom.
Eo amin'ny andininy fahaefatra amin'ny toko fahadimy dia manome lesona lehibe izy amin'ny statement about what?
About being wise and being foolish before God.
Amin'ny hoe endry sy adala eo anatrehan'Andriamanitra.
Because remember, we had said before, is wisdom any better than foolishness?
Satria raha tadiditsika teo alohantsika ny teny hoe fahendrena ve zany tsara kokoa noho ny fahadalana.
But now, he says in the second part of verse 4, that God takes no pleasure in fools.
Fa eto amin'ny andiny fahaefatra amin'ny toko fahadimy dia Andriamanitra miteny hoe izao tsy tia ny zavatra adaladala.
So, does being wise or foolish make a difference in our earthly life?
Ka moa hoe misy différence eo amin'ny fiainantsika ny hoe adala sy endry?
Maybe not, because evil people will still do evil things.
Angamba tsy, satria ny olona ratsy dia ihanohy ny faharatsiny.
But he's telling us not to worry about them, rather think about God.
Fa aza mandrarany amin'zareo fa Andriamanitra no tokony atahorana.
Because God doesn't like foolishness.
Satria Andriamanitra tsy tia fahadalana.
So then, why should we chase after wisdom? Because God loves wisdom.
Ka nahoantsika zany tokony manenjika ny fahendrena satria Andriamanitra dia tia fahendrena.
But he keeps saying, watch your mouth.
Fa milaza izy eto miteny verimberina izy hoe tandremo ny vavanareo.
He says in verse 6, don't let your mouth lead you into sin.
Eo amin'ny andiny fahenina amin'ny toko fahadimy miteny izy hoe tandremo ny vavanareo tsy hitarika anareo amin'ny fahotana.
He said, life has many dreams and many words, but above all, respect God.
Ny fiainana dia manana nofinofy sy tanjona fa Andriamanitra dia ilaina respektena.
Then, starting in verse 8, chapter 5, verse 8, and going through chapter 6, verse 9, he talks about how foolish it is to be unhappy, to be discontent.
Eo amin'ny toko fahadimy andininy fahavalo dia mitohy any amin'ny toko fahaenina ka hatramin'ny andininy fahasivy dia milaza indray izy ny amin'ny hoe adalàna ny it's foolish to not what?
It's foolish to be unhappy and discontent.
Hoe adalàna ny tsy ahafahana mahazo hafaliana sy tony.
It's foolish to always want more.
Adalàna ny faniriana hoe te hanana mihoatra foana, mitady mihoatra.
He says that the lover of money will never be satisfied.
Ireo izay tia vola hozy izy ho jamais ho satisfait.
And he says that what good does it do to keep piling up possessions?
Ka inona hozy izy ho mahatsara ny fananana harena sy ny zavatra maro samihafa manangona an'izany rehetra zany.
And then he goes into a section about the rich and the way that they oppress the poor.
Dia miresaka indray koa izy ny amin'ireo olona manan-karena izay mampijaly ny olona mahantra.
And those words written 2,500 years ago are still true today.
Ary ireo teny izay voasoratra tamin'ny 2500 zany passé tany mbola mitombona amin'izao fotoana izao.
He says that the rich have hired workers, but they don't pay the workers very much. They keep all the money for themselves.
Ireo manan-karena hozy izy dia manan-karama olona kanefa tsy manome ny karama sahaza an'ireo ampiasain'ireo.
He says that the laborers work all the time, but they don't see the fruits of their labors.
Ireo mpiasa dia miasa mafy sy miasa tontolo andro nefa tsy mahita ny vokatry ny asany, tsy mahazo ny vokatry ny asany.
But it's the wealthy who always see the money.
Fa ireo mpanan-karena ihany no mahazo ny vola.
They keep it to themselves and they don't share it with the workers.
Tazominy ho an'ny tenany ny vola ary tsy mizara, tsy zarainy amin'ireo mpiasany.
He says, so here's what's good.
Ka izao izy ny zavatra tsara.
You eat your meals, you have your drink, you enjoy your life.
Hohaniny sakafonao, mahazo fahafinaretana amin'ny zavatra hohaninao, miravoravo amin'izao fiainana izao.
That God has given us a certain amount of time.
Andriamanitra dia nanome antsika fetim-potoana.
So enjoy it.
Ka araraoty.
Don't worry about your days. Don't worry about your lives. Don't worry about the future. It all belongs to God.
Kaza aza manany amin'ny andronao, ny hoavinao, ny fahazany rehetra zany dia eo am-pelatanan'Andriamanitra.
And if we enjoy the life that God has given us, the days will be sweet.
Ka rehefa faly amin'ny andro izay nomen'Andriamanitra isika dia tsaratsara kokoa ny fiainana, la vie est rose.
And he says that it's a sad thing to see people who are never satisfied.
Mampalahelo ny mpanoratra ny mahita ny olona izay tsy mety satisfait mihitsiny, tsy afa-po mihitsiny.
That the wealthy never have enough money.
Ireo mpanan-karena tsy ampy anazy mihitsiny ny arenany.
but the poor worker is happy with a meal and a drink.
Fa ireo mahantra dia faly amin'ny sakafo izay ananany sy ny zavatra pisotro izay ananany.
The wealthy are never satisfied,
Ny mpanan-karena jamais satisfait.
but the wise person is happy with what God has given them.
Fa ny olom-pahendrena, olona endry dia satisfait amin'izay omen'Andriamanitra azy.
And then in verses 10 through 12 of chapter 6, it's a kind of a bridge section.
Eo amin'ny andininy 10 ka hatramin'ny 12 amin'ny toko 9 dia ohatra misy tetezana. Misy tetezana eto.
It's actually telling us what's going to come in the second part of the book.
Milaza antsika ny zavatra ho avy amin'ny section manaraka amin'ny boky.
He says, whatever has come to be has already been named.
Zavatra rehetra izay hitranga hozy izy efa voambara daholo.
And he says the more words that we use, the more it's like vapor.
Ka araky ny tombon'ny teny no voamaika no ohatran'ny hoe lasa rivotra ireny.
And who really knows what's good for human beings?
Ary iza moa ny tena mahalala hoe inona ny tena mahatsara ho an'olombelona.
So we trust God.
Noho izany Andriamanitra no itokisana.
So the next section, part 2 of the book, will go from chapter 7 verse 1 through chapter 12 verse 8.
Ny tapany faharoa dia mitomboka amin'ny chapitre 7 verset 1 ka hatramin'ny chapitre 12 verset 8.
And the first 14 verses is a collection of wise sayings that is telling us that nothing good really lasts forever.
Ny eo amin'ny andiny voalohany ka hatramin'ny faha-14 amin'ny toko 17 io dia collection ana tenim-pahendrena izay tena izay manambara fa tsisy zavatra tsara izay maharitra. Hoe tsisy ninona maharitra zany ny zavatra rehetra tsisy maharitra.
And it goes through, this first 14 verses is going back and forth, is saying that this is better than that.
Manao va-et-vient izy entre ny hoe ty dia tsara kokoa no ity.
And then tells us why it's better.
Ary milaza amintsika ihany koa hoe fanahoana ito no tsara kokoa.
That it's better to hear the rebuke of the wise than to hear the song of fools.
Tsara kokoa no mihaino ny tenim-pananarana omen'olon-kendry toy izay mihaino ny hiran'ny olona adala.
Because the laughter of fools is like vapor.
Satria ny fimehezan'ny adala dia tahaka ny rivotra.
There's some very important phrases that are in this section. He says, don't be quick to anger, because anger lodges in the chest of fools.
Misy teny izay important ihany koa ato ny teny hoe aza maika ny ho tezitra satria ny fahatezerana dia raiky tapisaka ao anatin'ny anger is lodged in
the chest of fools, the bosom.
Fa ny teny fa ny fahatezerana dia raiky tapisaka amin'olona adala.
And we always hear people talking about the good old days.
Henontsika foana ny olona miteny hoe tamin'ny andronay, tamin'ny andro fahiny.
People always say it was better before.
Miteny ny olona hoe tamin'ny andronay tsara kokoa, tamin'ny fahiny tsara kokoa.
But in verse 10 of chapter 7, he says, don't say, why were the days before better than these days?
Fa eto amin'ny andininy 10 amin'ny toko 17 dia miteny amintsika hoe aza miteny an'izany hoe tamin'izao fotoan'andro zao dia tsara kokoa.
He says, wisdom doesn't ask that question.
Miteny fahendrena ozy izy, ny fahendrena tsy manontany an'izany fanontaniana izany.
Starting in verse 15, he begins a section on that righteousness and wisdom are sometimes hard to hold on to.
Eo amin'ny andininy fahadimy amby folo ka hatramin'ny fahasivy amby roapolo amin'ny toko fahafito dia milaza indray izy hoe ny fahamarinana sy ny fahendrena ozy izy dia sarotra hisarongotana.
And he says in verse 15, in my empty life, I have seen everything.
Ozy izy hoe eo amin'ny andininy dimy amby folo teo amin'ny fiainako izay zavapoana dia nahita ny zavatra rehetra aho.
He says there are righteous people who die in their righteousness.
Nahita ozy izy olona marina izay maty amin'ny fahamarinana.
But I've seen evil people who live long lives being evil.
Kanefa nahita koa ozy izy olona ratsy kanefa dia niaina andro lava ao anatiny ny faharatsiana.
So he says, so maybe we shouldn't be too wise or too righteous so that we'll live longer.
Ka angamba ozy izy tsika zany tsy tokony hoe ho marina sy ho endry be amizay tsika mety miaina lavalava kokoa.
Obviously, he's making a joke.
Évidemment, blague zany.
And he says that, because remember, before he said that God doesn't take pleasure in a fool.
Satria raha tadiditsika teo aloha teo tsika niteny hoe Andriamanitra kory dia tsy mifaly amin'ny olona adaladala.
In the same way, he could say God doesn't take pleasure in the wicked.
De la même manière afaka tenenina koa hoe Andriamanitra kory tsy mifaly amin'ny olona ratsy fanahy.
No, he says, wisdom gives a person strength, more strength than 10 kings in a city.
Ny fahendrena ozy izy dia manome hery ho antsika hery izay 10 fois plus noho ny ireo mpiady amina cité.
Verse 21 is one of my favorite sayings.
Eo amin'ny andininy faraiky amby roapolo amin'ny toko fahafito anisan'ny teny izay tena tiako indrindra.
He says, don't listen to what people are saying about you.
Aza mihaino ozy izy ny hevitrin'olona momba ny tenanao.
Because people sometimes will curse you.
Satria ny olona matetika dia hiteny ratsy anao.
So don't listen.
Ka aza henona.
Don't listen to criticism and don't listen to praise.
Aza henona ny kritika an'zareo ary aza henona ny teny fideran'zareo.
Some people say, what others think of me is not my business.
Ny olona sasany dia miteny hoe izay eritreritro momba ahy tsy idirako.
Words to live by.
Teny tokony hiainana.
So now beginning in chapter 8 through the whole chapter, he is talking about the problem of God's rule, divine rule, and human rule.
Eo amin'ny toko fahavalo andininy voalohany ka hatramin'ny fahafito amby folo indray dia miresaka momba ny lalàn'Andriamanitra sy ny lalàn'olombelona.
He says, yes, you do what the king tells you to do.
Eny, ataovy izay lazain'ny mpanjaka ataonao.
If you do what the king tells you, you don't have to be afraid.
Rehefa ataonao izay lalàna tenenin'ny mpanjakanao, tsy tokony hisy atahoranao.
Because don't forget, the king has the power of life and death.
Satria aza adino fa ny mpanjaka dia manana ny pouvoir amin'ny hoe fiainana sy fahafatesana.
And the king has the power of life and death. Because don't forget, the king has the power of life and death.
Satria aza adino fa ny mpanjaka dia manana ny manana ny pouvoir amin'ny hoe fiainana sy fahafatesana.
But God's rule is different.
Ny lalàn'Andriamanitra dia hafa.
God can control the wind. The king cannot.
Andriamanitra dia afaka mikontrôle ny rivotra, ny mpanjaka tsy afaka.
God has control of the future. The king does not.
Andriamanitra manana kontrola ny amin'ny ho avy, ny mpanjaka tsy manana.
And he says that sometimes the king doesn't have all the facts.
Miteny ihany koa izy, matetika hozy izy ny mpanjaka tsy manana ny fe rehetra.
And the king will sometimes treat righteous people like he treats wicked people.
Ka indraindray ny mpanjaka dia mitraite ny olona marina tsy ampahamarinana.
But God knows the difference.
Fa Andriamanitra kosa malala ny différence.
In chapter 9, he talks about death and about having a spirit of joy.
Eo amin'ny chapitre 9 andininy voalohany ka hatramin'ny 10 indray dia miresaka momba ny fahafatesana izy sy ny esprit de joie.
That death is going to come.
Tsy maintsy ho avy ny fahafatesana.
It's going to come to the good and to the bad.
Tsy maintsy mahazo ny olona tsara sy ny olona ratsy.
Everyone will taste death eventually.
Ny olona rehetra dia tsy maintsy handalo amin'ny fahafatesana.
So then, in verse 7, he says, "Go and eat your bread with enjoyment."
Ka andana noho izany izy eo amin'ny andininy 7 kafizo ny mofonao.
And drink your wine with a happy heart.
Ary sotroiny divay amin'ny fo falifaly.
Because long ago, God already approved of what you do.
Satria efa taloha ela be Andriamanitra no efa nanome ny okeny aminao.
Those are some of the best words of the Bible.
Ireo dia anisan'ny teny tsara indrindra amin'ny Baiboly.
It's echoed in the scriptures many, many times.
Eno ny akon'ireo tenyreo amin'ny Baiboly, ao anatin'ny Baiboly Ray Manontolo.
We don't have to worry. We can enjoy our life because God approves of us.
Tsy tokony hanana fanahina mihitsy tsika ny amin'ny fiainantsika satria Andriamanitra dia efa manaiky antsika.
Read chapter 9 for yourself and see what it's saying.
Vakio manokana, vakio irery ao an-tenanareo ny toko 7.
In the last section of chapter 9, verses starting in verse 11, he starts to talk about the strength and the weakness of wisdom.
Eo amin'ny andininy faraiky amby folo amin'ny toko 7 manomboka eo dia miresaka indray izy momba ny
Better to be wise.
momba ny hery sy ny hery sy ny weakness. What is weakness? Ny hery sy ny point faible ny fahendrena.
That weakness, to be wise is a reward in itself.
Fahendrena dia efa valosoa zay.
But sometimes bad things still happen.
Fa indraindray zavatra ratsy dia mianjady ihany.
Like in verse 1 of chapter 10, he says that dead flies make a perfume stink. Dead flies
make a perfume stink.
Yeah.
Eo amin'ny toko 10 andiny voalohany zao dia miteny izy hoe ny lalitra maty dia mampamaimbo ny ranomanitra.
That wisdom is like perfume. Everybody enjoys being around it, but sometimes the deeds, the work of the evil person will even ruin that.
De ohatr'izay ihany koa izy ny fahendrena de tahaka ny parfum, tahaka ny ranomanitra manimpofona fa ny asan'olona iray izy izay ratsy izay adaladala de lasa manimba izay ranomanitra izay.
In chapter 10, starting in verse 16 through verse 20, there's a short section on foolish leaders.
Eo amin'ny andininy fahaenina amby folo ka hatramin'ny faharoapolo amin'ny toko fahafolo de miresaka izy momba ny ireo mpitondra adaladala.
And then in the first 6 verses of chapter 11, he talks about the worth of acting quickly and working hard.
Ary eo amin'ny toko faharaiky amby folo andininy voalohany ka hatramin'ny fahaenina indray de ny milaza izy ny momba ny hasina, ny importance, ny valeur ny réagir aingana.
And then in the last section of part 2, and that runs from chapter 11 verse 7 through 12 verse 8, it's a final discussion to living a happy life.
Eo amin'ny toko faharaiky amby folo andininy fahafito ka hatramin'ny mitohy hatrany amin'ny toko faharoa amby folo ka hatramin'ny andininy fahavalo de manome appel farany izy hoe mahaiza miaina izao fiainana izao ampifaliana hoe araraotiny ty fiainana ty.
And he says in chapter 11 verse 10, push away all anxiety from your mind.
Where is that at?
Chapter 11 verse 10.
Eo amin'ny toko faharaiky amby folo andininy verse 10 andininy fahafolo de milaza izy hoe alaviro ny faharatsiana.
And then he finishes off that section just like the very first verse where he says, vanity of vanities, all is vanity.
Ary ny conclusiony amin'ny partie roa amby folo toko faharoa amby folo andininy fahavalo ty de ny hoe tahaka ny ato ambony any hoe zavapoana ny zavatra rehetra.
And then he'll finish off with 5 verses, the last 5 verses of chapter 12, the epilogue.
Ary ny conclusion ny teny famaranana zany de hitantsika eo amin'ny toko faharoa amby folo andininy fahasivy ka hatramin'ny fahaefatra amby folo.
And he says, this is the end of the matter. Everything has been heard.
Ka zay zany ny conclusion izy hoe zavatra rehetra de efa re daholo.
Respect God and keep the commandments.
Respecteo Andriamanitra de hazony ny commandement.
Because he says, in the end, God will judge everything.
Satria amin'ny farany Andriamanitra de hitsara ny zavatra rehetra.
Is it pessimistic? Is it optimistic? It's realistic.
Ka pessimista ve sa optimista ve realistika le izy.
This is the way life is.
Toy izany ny fisotran'ny fiainana.
See you next time.
Amin'ny manaraka indray.